So if it's a little hard for you to imagine like $1 million in your bank, because it is, that could be really tough, challenging after you've been, at rock bottom, like me, living in my car. It can be really tough to go from like 10 cents to your bank and, you know, it just be like, oh, I'm a multimillionaire. Isn't that great? Yeah, well, it's great, but it doesn't always, you can't always make the leap. It's like that is quite a stretch, and it's not always helpful to go from 0 to 100. It's maybe better to try something a little bit more approachable. Like, what do you actually think could happen? Right? Like, where's your level of magic? What's your level of believability? Because for me, like at this point, I'm at that point where I can maybe manifest like $1,000 to $5,000, maybe. Like, and that feels, I've never even done that consistently, but it seems practical. It seems, well, it's possible, it's feasible. But when you start talking like $10 million or like I'm going to win the lottery, but then you have this belief that the lottery is hard to win, or $10 million, who the fuck would give you money like that? Where's that going to come from? And then if you've limited yourself to believing that just you only have one avenue of making $10 million and it's either an inheritance or a lottery win, well, then you've just canceled out every other infinite possibility the universe has, which it is infinite. It could come up with something else, but you've just limited the universe and how it's going to get you that money. So you've limited yourself, and you might as well have had much more success manifesting $500 consistently from random sources, because you don't have a limiting belief on that, probably, So I guess what I'm trying to say is really try to make your manifestation more believable. Like, start at something you think is easy, that really wouldn't even be that hard. Like, it's a little bit of a stretch. It challenges you a little bit, okay? A little bit, but not so much that you're not going to want to manifest at all, or you're not going to want to think about your manifestation. Because your objective at $10 million, that's great. But like, if you've been at poverty your whole life, like, you're going to be freaked out. You're not going to know how the hell to handle that kind of money, right? Nobody in your family has ever dealt with that. Like, how do you deal with the taxes? And what about all the people that show up from when you're 2 years old and you got Uncle George who wants a big slice of the pie because he changed your diaper when you were 2 years old, right? Like, you don't know how to deal with that really yet, right? So try something a little bit more manageable and see if that at least can get you out of a bind for a little while, to make your manifestation, to kind of give you more confidence in your abilities. Because once you have more confidence in your abilities, then it's game over. Then it's like, manifest 10 million tomorrow if you fucking want to. But right now, it might be a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of a leap. So try something a little different. Try to, challenge your mind in bringing in something that feels comfortable for you. What feels good to you? What feels like it might actually be doable? Try that first. Build up some confidence. Also, another great tip in building up your confidence is write shit down. When you get your manifestations, they come in, fucking write it down. Like, it'll help remind you periodically on your worst days when you feel like absolute garbage. It'll help remind you, like, oh yeah, I am that bad bitch. That's right. I can manifest anything. That's right. I am God. That's correct. That's correct. Write it down, okay? The things that you get. So if you want to start small and try to manifest something that's totally believable, like an angel number or a synchronicity or a butterfly or something, write it down. This is the best tip for me when I was first starting out, is I had to see that, like, I am really fucking powerful. Like, if I say something, it comes in like immediately. Unless I have a lot of resistance to it, and then it could take days. But overall, it doesn't really take that long. Maybe 3 days, a week max, if I have a lot of resistance. And that's if I have a lot of resistance. Now, however, if I were to start thinking right now, like, okay, so I've known about the law of assumption for maybe 3 years or so. It doesn't seem completely out of the realm of possibility for me to manifest like $10 million. It doesn't. I legit could do that, because I do not believe in limitations anymore. I don't believe that the universe is going to like keep that manifestation away from me if I keep visualizing it. Doesn't matter how the fuck it comes in. It will come in because I see it consistently. I see it consistently. And if I keep saying it over and over every single day, like if I think of money, if I think of my bank account and the only thing I see is $10 million in my imagination, it will happen. It does not fucking matter how. That's not our problem. That's not our responsibility. That's the higher self's responsibility. That's the universe's deal. We just have to keep focused on what it is we want. So if I think of $10 million and I think, I already have it. I already have it. I don't even have to open my bank account. It's already there. It's already there. I don't even need the bank account app anymore. So I am the validation that's giving my $10 million its power, right? The universe has to conspire to get me $10 million. It does not matter how, because I keep seeing myself in that reality. I'm eventually going to shift to that reality. It has to do something to get me $10 million. I don't give a shit what it is. Well, I mean, I hope it's legal, but it's going to happen. Because if I'm the one that keeps consistently seeing it in my bank account, telling the universe, yeah, it's there, now do something about it, it's going to have to conspire in my favor to get me that $10 million. It doesn't matter how. So if you guys are not there yet, though, and you're feeling that resistance, like, oh God, how is that going to happen, Jenna? How? If you're asking the how all the time, here's the tip of advice for you. Try something a little bit more manageable, because you got to build up a little bit more confidence in the law, honey, because you're not, it's too big of a leap. Okay. So if you're asking how's that going to happen? How's that going to happen? It's too, mince it up into little bite sizes, because it's not working at you to believe something like going from $0 to 10 million. Okay. Try something a little bit more approachable. I don't know if that's the word. I don't know. A little bit more, whatever. You catch the drift. Maybe $50 on the sidewalk. Maybe that's not that hard to believe. $50 on the sidewalk? That's fucking easy. Anybody could do that, right? But it's your level of believability. Like, where is your level of magic? Like, if I were to ask you, if you go outside and, like, on a scale from 1 to 10, how likely do you think that you are to find $1 on the ground? Most of you would probably be like, yeah, it's like a 5. I mean, it's pretty doable. It's like people drop money all the time, right? Okay. So if I were to ask you, though, how likely is it for you to find $10 million on the ground when you go to the store today? Exactly. You're at a 0 of 10. You're like, absolutely no fucking way. There is 0% chance that's going to happen, right? Because you've been programmed and conditioned to believe your level of magic is only $1. But it is just as easy to manifest $1 as it is 10 million. It's the same thing. It is literally the same process. It's the same in the system, in the matrix itself. It's just a glitch. It's just a computer glitch. It's all the same. It doesn't matter. 10 million or $1. Where is your level of magic? So if right now you're having a hard time and you're like asking the how all the time, like how do I do it? What I really want you to try to do is think of something more, I just got distracted by a guy on a go-kart. Think of something more, whatever. You catch the drift. All right, guys, I hope you have a good night. Bye.